We love hip hop.
like I'm in Toronto, okay, and
Mhm.
we'll open up this conversation a bit, right? I'm in
Yeah.
Toronto, so I'm automatically supposed to be pro everything Drake does, right? But I've gotten
Mhm.
in trouble a few times, even though I speak to the boy every once in a while. I'm not always the most favored because there's certain things I don't like the lawsuit.
Mm.
What are your views on that? Because there's people who are saying that that's left a black eye on him right now. So if he didn't make this, if he didn't have this lawsuit looming, we would have probably forgotten about this battle maybe about a year ago.
Well, that I don't agree with. So I'll start with what happens if he didn't sue, and then maybe I'll go into my feelings about the lawsuit as a whole.
Oh, let's go.
So if he doesn't sue, people think that this would just be forgotten about, like the biggest battle in hip hop never took place. That's not true. If he doesn't sue, you know what the narrative would have been? If he wasn't a PDF, why didn't he sue for defamation? You can go back and search Reddit. You can go back and search Twitter. You can go back and search Instagram and just scroll back right after Not Like Us dropped. And people were saying, if Drake isn't this, then he should sue. Like that was a common narrative, but people are upset about it. I will also say this. If you notice since the lawsuit dropped, look at the Super Bowl. They've had to blank out certain words from the performance. Kendrick wasn't allowed to say certain things, right? He had to blank it out and let the crowd say it. Go back and watch the Grammys. The Grammys has edited the footage that they put out on YouTube. Go look at the major corporations. They're not tweeting about the song anymore. You know, there's a much bigger game being played here. And now this will help answer your first part of your question about my feelings. To be honest, I don't really care. If
Mm.
if I was Drake, would I have sued? It's hard for me to answer that because I've never been in a position where I've had $500 million at stake. I've never been in a position where people are looking at me not as Drake the person, but I'm a corporation and I have to protect my interest. So I think when people look at this, they say, oh, he's a rapper. He engaged in a battle. He shouldn't sue because there's unwritten rules to this. But there's no rules. There are no rules, right? If there were no rules when Kendrick called him something that no man should call another man without proof. There were no rules then. So why are there rules when he chooses to take it a different way? This is a
Well,
billion-dollar business. You have to handle it as such.
well, one can say, and listen, I'm just taking the Kendrick side of things just for debate's sake. All right. So
Yeah.
if any of you guys see this, just chill. All right. I ain't getting at you. All right. Just relax.
Yeah.
But one can also say on their side that they can sue for defamation also because they're saying that I beat my chick and you had the whole internet going on a witch hunt trying to pull up videos with some like security guard white chick saying Kendrick, oh my God. And
Yeah.
like, come on, like there
Uh,
was mudslinging on both sides. So shouldn't both sides be suing for defamation?
Listen, when I say I agree with you, listen, when Family Matters drops, it's late. It might have been after midnight. I'm in a bed. I pull up the song. The first thing I said was he went too far. Drake went too far, right?
Mm.
I agree there. They both said things that they should not have said, right? The whole thing with talking about children on both of their behalves is dead wrong. That's how I feel about it.
Right.
But yes, if that's people's rebuttal is that, oh, Kendrick should shoot too. If that's how people feel, that's how they feel. My personal opinion again is I don't really care what happens, but I understand and I can put myself in the shoes of another individual and say, okay, I see why he may have done that. And I don't think the lawsuit will be successful, to be honest. I don't, because, to prove defamation as such a high bar and a high standard, I don't know if he's going to get there. I
Mm.
believe this will likely be settled. I don't think either party wants to continue to drag this out. I don't think it benefits either one of them. So likely we'll get a settlement. But even if it gets dismissed, it gets dismissed. I'm not mad at him for protecting his image. He's a father. And a father has to protect their name, right? Their first name and their last name.
No, well, definitely when you call somebody a PDF file, like you have to make sure that that's not something that just starts spreading throughout the game. But
Yeah.
and this is again playing devil's advocate, I feel that there might have been a way to make that simmer down, or to be honest, I don't know if people even actually believed it as far as just hearing it in a song for you to have to sue to make people believe, because I'm going to circle back to what you said, like if he doesn't sue, then people are just going to believe that he is, right?
Hmm.
There's another way of doing that though, not suing and responding as far as just staying up. When you respond with new music, don't do what you did in the Heart Part 6,
Hmm.
but maybe stand out a little bit more, that guys like him are just throwing mud that will get people killed type shit. And then people will be like, nah, bro, we never believed that you were a freaking pedophile.
Yeah. Again, I see your perspective. I definitely do. And I see his perspective. And listen, the internet is a nasty place. And there are people who really believe it. Like there are
Mm.
people, whether they're trolling, they're just saying it in people's comments, they're saying it all over X. Like it's a nasty place right now. And fan discourse has gone way too far. So again, I don't think suing is making anybody change their mind. I think optically it's bad. Excuse me. I think optically it's definitely bad. So again, until you can really see what made him do it and kind of the other thing that he's alleging, if any of that evidence comes to light, then I guess we'll have to wait to see what gets revealed, or nothing gets revealed and it gets dismissed and people laugh at him again. But if people laugh at him again, does that change anything? Not really. They've been laughing for 2 years. So at the end of the day, so what? If he can make some money out of it, if he can have the label admit that they were wrong, then that's a win for him. And I actually want to say one thing. I forgot to mention this.
Mm-hmm.
The in the lawsuit where he talks about the idea of botting and stream manipulation, anyone who's an artist, there are people in here who may be smaller artists who want to become somebody. There are other artists in the world who aren't tier one rappers or S tier rappers. The allegation of botting should be something that they're all championing. If you're botting on Spotify, every fake stream that generates revenue is $1 out of your own pocket. So artists should actually be championing that, but they will never say that out loud because they don't want to support Drake in saying that he should sue. But behind closed doors, you better believe that artists don't want bots to exist because it hurts them more than it helps them.
Yes, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. However, the bots is just one part of the lawsuit, and
Yeah.
the catalyst of the lawsuit is the fact that you said these nasty things about me, and the record company is using bots as well as other like underhanded tactics to push this song, to push this message out even more, right?
Mhm.
So the finding out about the bots is a side effect of this. It's not the normal mission of we're going in to find out the bots for the rest of you guys in this hip hop game.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Agreed. And that's why I think there's more. I think there's more to be uncovered, right? There's other allegations in there about the contract situation. So who knows if it's true? Who knows if it's true? But I think the defamation is just what the whole case is banking on. So if they can't prove defamation, everything else goes out the window. But again, like I said, I think What's the Dirt did a video on this where it was a case that was similarly just brought up a few weeks ago, I think with Afro Man, and he talked about how hard it's going to be for Drake to win this. And there I agree. But you better believe I'm dying to get the information. I want to see everything that's alleged, what can be proven, what can't be proven. I want to see the contract. I want to know who botted what. I want to know who emailed who. I want the info. Who doesn't want to peek behind the machine? Because this is what people speculate about all day. But let's put it in black and white. Let's read it.
No, real talk. And do you think this has been affecting the rollout of Iceman period? Because we saw Iceman episode 3, I don't even know how many months ago, maybe like 4 months ago now at this point.
Mm-hmm. More than that, I think. It might be 8 months or something like that. It's a long time.
That's crazy, bro. Like, I feel that this lawsuit, or the lack of, has impeded on even us getting the Iceman record. Do you agree?
There are some people who say that. They're like, oh, he's waiting to see the outcome of the lawsuit. I don't think that makes logical sense, because why would you want to tie a known outcome of you're going to drop this album to an unknown outcome of the lawsuit? Like anything that goes to court, you don't set the dates. The judge sets the dates, right? So you have to, these things get pushed back. They file for extensions. If it goes to trial takes a long time. This is going to be dragged out for a while. So I don't think he would tie his album to that. I think it's in his best benefit to put the album out, and it's in the label's best benefit to put the album out. I think he is still probably their first or second highest grossing artist. So, you know, they want him to put out music. And I think even when they said when the case was first dismissed, they are going to continue to invest and support his career. Do they want to teach him a lesson? Of course. But do they also want to make money? Yes, because money is what, you know, makes the world go round. This is a publicly traded company. They are beholden to shareholders who want to see return on investment. So the best return on your investment is Drake.
So do you think that with that being said, what you just said, that when he does drop Iceman, they're going to push the button that they need to push to make sure that it's promoted well, or are they going to give it the sexy songs for you treatment?
I think it's a hard question. I think the part that the label will plays the most when it comes to Drake is with radio. I think we saw that with What Did I Miss coming in at number 2, and it, you know, was stuck there, right? He wasn't able to get the number 1 spot. He actually posted about this because radio was so heavily factored into the Billboard rankings. Billboard has now changed the way that they calculate the records. Now they're relying a bit more on streaming. So Drake's strong suit will always be streaming. The radio, they have the relationships with the label, because think about what radio station does Drake have strong ties to, or what radio station has Drake been visiting recently? He's not going to Power 105 with Charlamagne. Hot 97, is he going to go sit down with Mero? I don't think so. Him and Ebro don't get along. I know Ebro's no longer at Hot 97. Does he go to LA Leakers or any of the West Coast radio powerhouses? I don't think so. So I think at that time, he's going to need the label to help rebuild that bridge and help work the songs on radio. The streaming side, I think, will take care of itself regardless. He's the top performing streaming artist no matter what the label does. So people will always choose to do it. So I think they will likely push the button. I believe he's going to announce a tour very shortly as well. And the label is going to be heavily invested in that as well, right? And Live Nation is going to be heavily invested in that as well. So the better the songs perform, the better the tour will perform. So I think everything will click as it needs to click.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.